Good morning. This is Group 1, and this is our 4th meeting. Today, we have a couple of things going on. First, we'll be hearing from Catherine about local storage, and then we'll be hearing from Ryan about Ajax. And then we'll open it up for some questions and end our meeting if there's nothing else. All right, Catherine, go ahead and you're up.
All right, awesome. Let me share my screen real quick. And okay, can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I'll be doing local storage. So kind of just a summary of what local storage is it's kind of like you might store cookies, but instead of sending data back and forth from the server to the client, all of the storage is within the client's browser. And one of the benefits of using local storage is that it can support about 5 megabytes of data, which is more than allowed with your cookie storage. And so with local storage, it will actually store the data basically forever, unless it is explicitly told to be deleted. And it's supported in your main browsers like Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Safari, which I'll talk about how to check to see if the browser is supported or not later on in my presentation. So how to tell the browser you want to store something is you can do that with getters and setters. So you'll just use local storage, and then you can use the class or use the local storage method set item, pass it a because it's stored in like a value key pair, and so you can pass it the key first and then the value, or you can explicitly use the dot operator with the key and then the assignment operator and the value. And that's pretty similar for the getter. You can use either the get item method or the dot operator on the key. And then if you want to remove anything, remove the item, you just use the remove item function and tell it the key of the value. To check browser support, basically you can just do like an if-else statement using type of storage, and if that equals undefined, that means the storage is not supported. Anything else means that it's supported and is good to go. And then the different kinds of data that can be put into local storage is primarily your primitives like Boolean, number, string, things like that. And if you want to store something other than that, like an array or an object, you'll have to use put it into JSON format and stringify it. And then to pull it out, you just need to parse it. So that's kind of the end of my slides. Just wanted to show you a little bit of working code. It's nothing too fancy. Can you guys see my screen, or did I?
Yeah.
Can you see my code? Okay.
We can see your code.
Cool. Okay, awesome. So up here I have a function just checking for storage support, kind of like I showed you in my slides. Type of storage equals undefined. Basically, I was just giving an alert telling them it's not supported. And then otherwise continue forward as normal. And then I think I'll just go ahead and show you the website because you can kind of see what I've got first and then come back to the code if anyone has questions. Let me start from scratch. Here we go. So first I just have an alert that says welcome. And then if I want, like the next thing I'll do is I'll just do simple data, which is just going to store a string. Oops, I don't know why that's popping in. Okay, so we'll just put in Catherine. Click OK. And then the next time I come to this page, it will, instead of saying welcome like it did before, it remembered my name and it says welcome back, Catherine. And then for storing arrays, basically I just had a button, store the array and then display it. And switch back to the code, just kind of show you how I did that. So I just created a static array, checked first to see if that variable exists already in local storage. And if that returns undefined, then it would go to the else part of the statement, which would set the item, and then I would immediately pull it out to display. Just basically kind of what I did for pretty much the rest of both the associative arrays and object storage. They're all pretty similar. So associative array, object, and then I also did a clear storage. So if I click this button, it will like totally wipe everything off out of the local storage that I explicitly tell it to. Let me show you the code here. So down here, I have my function for clear local storage. And all it is local storage.clear, and that clears everything in my local storage. And then for my example of, yeah, and that'll just wipe everything. So let me add my name again real quick. And I want to show you one more thing. And so now it's got my name stored. And so if I hit remove name, it will remove only that object from the local storage, which I did up here. It's just local storage dot remove item, and then the key of the value. And that's all I have for you guys. Are there any questions?
No, that was pretty good. I don't have any.
No, that was really good. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Ryan, you want to take it away?
Yep. All right, so I'm going to be talking about Ajax, specifically requesting an Ajax file, or sorry, a JSON file. Ajax is, it stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It's a simpler, faster way of getting data than XML used to be. And you do that with a combination of the XML HTTP request object, the JavaScript, and the HTML DOM. So what it does is the browser creates, you do like a listen for event or a button click or any type of event on the browser. We'll send that request to the web server, who then processes the request and sends a response back to the browser, which then uses JavaScript to process the data and updates the content on the page. So that's kind of the overall process of what's happening with a Ajax call. So it's really interesting. It works a lot faster and is a lot simpler to code than XML strings used to be. So that's why it's been kind of the mainstay for so long. There are several methods that you need to invoke when you send an Ajax call. One of them is the open, which you're going to put in a method, a URL for the file location, and then you're going to tell it whether it's synchronous or not. And the synchronous just means that it can handle multiple requests at one time. And the methods you're going to use is you're going to use a get and a post. And we'll talk about those in just a second. You need to use the send method, and that actually sends the the request to the server. You can also pass a string to it. Those are it's specific for the get and the post. So the get method is simpler and faster. Usually it's used just to retrieve data from a file location. The post has a little bit more flexibility in the size of the data that you can send. It's a little more secure, and it actually will write data to the file or the server database or whatever you're trying to send to. Let's see, then there's the responses that you get back. There's a few properties you're going to use. Usually you use an onReady state change, and that's going to run a function whenever it receives the data back from the server. So the instant it gets the data back, it processes a function. There are a few ready states that you can see right here. Request is initiated, server connected established, request received, processing request, and request finished, and response is ready. So usually you'll check to run your function when the ready state equals 4. That way it knows it's finished. Then there's the statuses, and these are, we're usually familiar with the 404 page not found. There's a whole list of these that I wasn't able to fit on this screen, but these are the general the 4 or the 3 top ones. So the 200 is going to be if it's okay, 403 if it's a forbidden request, and then page not found on a 404. And then your status text returns the status as a text value. So just going over, here's a sample request for a JSON file. So you're going to start by instantiating the XML HTTP request object, and then this is the important part down here, right? So this is where you're building that variable that you just instantiated. So you're going to check on the ready state. So it's going to on ready state, it's going to run this function below. So it's going to first check to make sure the ready state is a 4, that it's received, and that the status is a 200, that it's an OK status. Then we're going to create a variable myObject, which is going to be a JSON parse, and that's going to be response text. We're going to parse that out. And then we're going to, just in this example, we're going to insert it into an HTML for this demo. And then once you build that, then you need to actually open it. So you're going to send a GET request. Here's the file location, the URL, and we're going to tell it that it is asynchronous. And then we're actually going to send the JSON call. So that's how you process an AJAX call. Like I said, this can be used for requesting from a database or any other type of file storage that you have on your server. So let's go ahead and look at a. So here I just wanted to show, this is what I have on my site. It's just an HTML, and here's the actual location for my test Java or my test JSON document. So when you just refresh this, it's super simple, but this is the request that it's getting right here. That's the data that it's getting from the JSON. And if I just jump this link right here, so this is the actual what the JSON looks like. So you have the, right, just like it's a standard JSON, you have the label and the value, and that is being pulled in and being displayed here. And so I can show you the, so here is my script that I have embedded. So it's just creating the request here, populating that variable with the information that I'm looking for. I'm just going to insert into the name and the name and the age, and then I open my request and I send that back to the or I send that to the web server. So that's the basics of an Ajax call. And like Catherine was saying, it's very similar to the local storage on how you manipulate it, how you can add and remove stuff from it. So that's all I have. So is there any questions you guys have on Ajax?
No.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for meeting today. Next Saturday, we're going to meet at the same time, 10 o'clock Mountain. And next week, we have Casey teaching, myself, and Catherine. All right. Thank you guys for coming to the meeting. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Awesome. Thank you.